Okay. So, you know how everyone's always talking about robots taking over jobs? Like it's this big, scary future thing?
Right, right.
But we're diving deep into that today. All this stuff about technological unemployment, we've got a whole stack of articles and research about it. And
It's fascinating stuff, really.
yeah, and I think a lot of people are kind of nervous about it, like, what does it mean for me, for my job, for the future?
Definitely. A lot of anxiety around it for sure.
So we're going to break it all down. Robots, AI, automation, the whole shebang.
And we're not here to just, freak everyone out.
No doom and gloom here.
Exactly. We want to look at the challenges, sure, but also the opportunities. And most importantly, what can you, our listener, actually do about all of this?
Right. Like, how do we navigate this whole thing?
Exactly.
So maybe we should start with, like, what exactly is technological unemployment? Because I think some people still picture, like, robots on a factory floor replacing workers.
Yeah, that's the classic image. But it's way more than that now. We're seeing AI and automation impacting all sorts of fields like healthcare, even creative industries. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. In fact, one of these articles here talks about AI diagnosing medical conditions. Like, in the future, you could go in, get a scan, and an AI might analyze it and find, potential issues even before a doctor even sees you.
Oh, wow.
Which, on one hand, that's amazing. Faster diagnoses, maybe even more accurate. But then you can't help but think, well, hold on, what happens to the doctors then?
That's the big question, right? That's really the heart of technological unemployment, I think. When the skills you've spent years developing, maybe even a lifetime, suddenly they're not as valuable
Yeah.
because technology can do it faster, cheaper, whatever. And this
Well,
isn't just factory workers anymore, like you said, doctors, but also think about truck drivers with self-driving vehicles, lawyers with AI reviewing documents, even artists with AI generating images now.
it's really across the board, huh?
Yeah, it's a big shift.
And you mentioned something earlier, skills mismatch, I think it was. What does that actually mean, like for someone who's, say, facing job displacement, like their job just kind of vanishes because of tech?
So skills mismatch basically means the skills you have from your old job, they might not be the right skills for these new tech jobs that are popping up.
Oh, I see.
So think about it. You've got a truck driver, right?
Mhm.
Spent his whole life on the road, and now those jobs are disappearing because of self-driving trucks. But the jobs that are opening up are in like cybersecurity, data analysis.
Yeah. Yeah.
That truck driver, he doesn't have those skills, and retraining, it's not always easy or even possible. And that's a huge challenge. Like, how do we bridge that gap?
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not just job losses, it's this mismatch between what people know how to do and what the economy now needs.
Exactly.
And some of this research, honestly, it's a little scary. Like they talk about rising inequality, possible economic instability because of all this. But is there like a silver lining here?
Oh, absolutely. While some jobs are definitely going away, new ones are being created all the time.
Oh, okay.
Take green energy, for example. This report here, it says there's going to be a massive need for skilled workers as we transition to, solar, wind power, all that.
Oh, interesting.
Same thing with cybersecurity. As we rely more and more on tech, we need people to protect our systems.
Mm.
And AI ethics. That's a whole new field that basically didn't exist a few years ago.
Wow, that's true. It's like a, I don't know, technological evolution almost. Like as it disrupts things, it also creates these new opportunities.
Exactly.
But then the question is, how do we make sure everyone benefits from this shift? Not just, the people who already have the right skills.
Right, right. That's the tricky part.
Yeah.
But there are countries trying different things.
Yeah.
Germany, for example, they have this system called dual education, where from a young age, kids are doing apprenticeships while they're also in school.
Oh, wow.
So they're learning practical skills alongside the theory.
That's
In Singapore, they have this program called Skills Future, where the government actually gives people grants to, take courses, learn new things, even as adults.
so it's like constantly learning and adapting is super important.
Absolutely. Lifelong learning is key.
Okay, but what about people who are like right now in between jobs? Maybe they just lost their job because of tech. What can they do?
Well, there's this idea that's been floating around called UBI, Universal Basic Income.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Basically, it's like a guaranteed income for everyone, whether you're working or not.
Hmm. So like a safety net.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The idea is it gives you breathing room to, retrain, figure out your next move without having to worry about, putting food on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Finland and Kenya, they've actually done some pilot programs with UBI. Mixed results, though. Some people say it helped people, gave them that security to, get back on their feet.
Right.
But others worry that it might make people, less motivated to find work.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, if you're getting money anyway, why bother working?
That's the debate.
Yeah.
It's not a simple solution.
For sure. And this makes me think about, the human side of all this. Like, it's not just about losing a paycheck, right?
Right.
This report talks about, like, identity crises tied to job loss.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, our jobs, they're a big part of who we are, right? So what happens when that's taken away?
Yeah. It's a big question. Like, do we need to redefine what work even means? Maybe it's not just about, a 9-to-5 job anymore. Maybe it includes things like, I don't know, volunteering, taking care of your family, creative pursuits. This research even suggests that maybe in the future, we should measure societal progress not just by, economic growth, but by how happy and fulfilled people are.
Interesting. Like, well-being is the new GDP.
Exactly. It's a whole different way of thinking.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to remember this isn't just an American problem, right? This is happening all over the world. What does the research say about that?
Well, one study, it talks about the need for countries to work together, especially on things like trade policies, to make sure developing countries aren't left behind in all this.
That's important.
Right. And then there's the whole environmental impact. If we're automating everything, we got to make sure we're doing it sustainably.
Oh, right, using renewable energy to power all those robots and AI and everything.
Exactly. It's all connected.
Wow. This deep dive has really been eye-opening. I mean, technological unemployment, it's such a complex issue.
It really is. Lots of different perspectives, lots of potential problems, but also lots of, possibilities.
Definitely.
And the thing is, it's not like set in stone what happens next. It really depends on the choices we make as individuals, as a society, as a global community.
Yeah, that's a good point. So for all of you listening out there, here's something to think about. How can you be part of shaping this future of work? What skills can you learn? What conversations can you start? What actions can you take to make sure technology empowers us, not just, replaces us?
It's an exciting time to be alive, that's for sure. Full of challenges, but also full of opportunity.
That's a great way to put it. Thanks for joining us today for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, everyone.